It's just 2 weeks before His Holiness Pope Francis arrives at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport at the start of his Africa tour. We have discussed a lot about what he will do. We have talked a lot about the government's close cooperation with the church in working to pull off a very successful experience for the Pope on this, his first visit to the continent as head of the 1.2 billion strong Catholic Church. As we've discussed here and at other fora, the Pope's themes on his apostolic journey will include, but are not limited to, strengthening the family unit, peace, stability, interreligious, and might I add, inter-ethnic tolerance and inclusivity. The Holy Father will also discuss climate change when he visits with diplomats at the UNEP headquarters in Gigiri here. His speech is critical as it will come only a few days before the conference of the parties to the United Nations Convention on Climate Change, known by the acronym COP21, which will be held in Paris. The conference aim is to conclude a universal, ambitious, and sustainable agreement that contributes to containing average global temperature rises below 2 degrees Celsius and thus lay the ground for a better future for the coming generations. Many of you have inquired, persistently I might add, about our security preparedness. The Inspector General of Police and his team in Nairobi will continue to discuss finer details and will make a statement at an appropriate time. However, as they continue to fine-tune their plans to secure the city, particularly during a busy period, we have to take into recognition the fact that they are planning for an additional 1 million people gathering in Nairobi. Specifically, the Inspector General of Police says that the security agencies are ready to welcome the Pope. It's an important fact to state at this point, and the operation will typically be multi-agency. The Kenya Police Service, the Kenya Prisons, the National Youth Service are among the agencies mobilizing for the event. Tentatively, the Inspector General says some 10,000 police officers will be deployed during that visit. Additionally, some 10,000 young people from the National Youth Service will be involved in crowd management, particularly with the Mass at Kasarani as well as the events at the Kasarani Stadium, the Mass at the University of Nairobi and the events at Kasarani Stadium. I have to warn in advance that I cannot answer questions on security deployments for obvious reasons, but in your mental map, please figure out 1 million people, possibly occupying every space from the University of Nairobi graduation grounds through to Central Park and yonder to Uhuru Park. Literally, these people will cover the grounds from the museum roundabouts to the Haile Selassie roundabout. So that should explain to you the security deployment and the planning around it. Also, unlike the visit by President Barack Obama, when the government encouraged Kenyans to stay home, we are encouraging Kenyans to flock into the city in their numbers to cheer the Pope and celebrate Mass with him. As this is a state and pastoral visit, the Pope himself has expressed the desire that as many people as possible have access to him, and when the routes he will take during the tour are announced, you will see that reflects his desire. Due to these circumstances, many of you have asked whether the government will declare November 26 and 27 public holidays. The answer is that at this point, the government is deeply seized with the matter and a decision will be made in the coming days. The government is looking at the options available in this matter and will make a decision based on what works best for the country. One of the options, of course, is to look at whether employees, especially in Nairobi, can give their staff flexi working hours during that period. The facilities, venues for the various events the Holy Father will participate in are ready. They span from arrival and departure at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, State House for bilateral meetings and the addresses to the nation, the University of Nairobi for Holy Mass, UNEP for meetings with diplomats and the address on climate change, the meetings at the community church in Kangemi, young people at Kasarani, and of course the meeting with the Kenya Conference of Bishops, also at Kasarani. To assist in planning, may I just speak to the program. November 25, the papal entourage arrives. It will then head to State House for formal reception ceremonies, including military honors. The Pope will hold a private meeting with the President, then he will go to bilateral meetings with the President and government. Then the President and the Pope will make addresses from the grounds of State House. November 26, an ecumenical and interreligious meeting at the Nunciature, that is the home of the papal representative in Kenya, followed by Holy Mass at the University of Nairobi with spillovers at Central and Uhuru Parks. He will then head to St. Mary's School for a meeting with clergy, priests, nuns, and seminarians before his address at UNEP. November 27, the Pope will visit St. John the Worker Church in Kangemi. Then he will go and visit with young people at Kasarani. A meeting with bishops will also happen at Kasarani before departure at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Some 80 journalists are traveling on the Popo flight, including 4 Kenyans. Some 100 journalists from the region have also accredited to cover the event, and we expect another 1,000 journalists from here to accredit. For those yet to accredit, you only have 2 days to do so. There is intense pressure in this particular area, so we do hope that you will go out there, accredit, and sort yourselves.